Greetings, everyone. A fairly well-known activity in ESL classes is having students do surveys or questionnaires. It's a way to get students up and moving around and talking to each other. I recently had a conversation about this with a colleague about the traditional way and a better way to do this activity.
David, last week I was observing one of the teachers in our ESL program. During the class, she had the students do a survey. She gave each student a chart that looked kind of something like this. She told the students that they will try to find a classmate who will answer yes to their questions, and then they will write the name of that student on their paper. And they can only write the name of a classmate once. That means they will need to talk to many of the students. She added that it's a contest, a kind of contest, to see who can fill in their charts with names fastest. Then she told the students stand up, ask their questions to each other.
Yeah, I see. And how did it go?
Well, if reading questions to each other and answering yes or no is talking in English, then we can say they were talking, but that was about it. They seemed intent on quickly asking their questions and then jumping to another student. To me, it seemed like the activity has potential to be more skill developing and truly interactive. What do you think?
Right. There is a better way to do it. So, first of all, let's talk about what conversation skills students could be practicing during this activity. We'd like them to practice skills that they could use outside of our ESL classes. Just reading questions to each other isn't really a conversation skill.
Yes, I agree. For me, I'd like to see students say more than just yes or no to each other.
Me too. When I do this activity, I've made several changes to the traditional way that it is done, like the way you observed last week. First, I added two columns to the chart, so it looks kind of like this.
Interesting. So, if you and I were doing it the traditional way, I'd ask you, did you get up early this morning?
And I'd say yes.
Then I'd write your name in the second column. And then I'd walk up to a different classmate and read this second question. Is your birthday in spring?
Exactly. Now, imagine we're doing it the better way. So you read to me, did you get up early this morning? And I said yes.
Then I'd write your name and your answer yes. Then I need to ask a follow-up question about your getting up early, right?
Right. And I need to actually be listening to you to understand your question.
Okay, so let's see. I can think of several questions like why did you get up early or what time did you get up? Okay, what time did you get up?
Oh, around 6 a.m.
So my chart would look like this. Then I'd go up to a different classmate and ask them about their birthday.
Yeah, yes, you could, but let me explain some more benefits to the better way. First, I think it's a mistake to make this a competition to see who can finish filling in their chart first. The students would be discouraged from actually having a conversation with each other. For example, you just said you could think of other follow-up questions to my answer, like why did you get up early? So you could still ask me that after I said that I got up at 6 a.m., even though you're not going to add that information on your chart. It would be just to practice having a conversation.
All right, why did you get up at 6?
Well, because I knew that it had snowed during the night and I wanted to shovel my driveway right away. And how about you? Were you surprised by how much snow we got?
I sure was, but I take a bus, so I didn't need to shovel. Okay, I can see how this is way much better for practicing conversation skills by having the required follow-up questions and by not making this a competition. Is there anything else?
Yes, there are. The traditional surveys just have yes no questions, but this better way includes WH questions like this.
So let's say you are Marty, and I ask you the second question. Where did you go on your favorite vacation?
And I say, let me see, probably Spring Lake in Canada.
I see. Why did you like it so much?
Oh, I stayed on a ranch on a beautiful lake surrounded by pine forests and mountains. So then we could continue to talk about Spring Lake, and I could ask you about your favorite vacation spot, or we could move on to different classmates for the second question. And your chart would look like this.
Great, I like it.
And we're not finished yet. I have three more ways to improve the traditional way.
Terrific, go for it.
So I would have maybe 10 survey questions on the chart. And before starting the activity, I'd have each student write at least two more questions. So the chart would be something like this.
Oh, that's a wonderful improvement. I can see how much fun it would be to hear and answer the questions that my classmates wrote. Now, you have two more improvements?
Right. There are at least two specific conversation techniques that they could use during this activity. As you can see from the chart, the survey chart, they need to ask follow-up questions. And another is giving listening responses called rejoinders. These are words like, I see, great, oh, really? Or even, I'm sorry, what did you say? Now, to really take advantage of the full potential of the survey activity, it's really helpful to introduce these to your students and practice them during a lesson before doing this activity. So, in the notes below, I've included some links where you can go to download some follow-up and rejoinder exercises for free to use with your students. And the final recommendation this will be very helpful for getting your students to understand exactly how to do the activity. So before starting, we want to show them a model or example of two people doing the activity. And one way that I've used very effectively is this. I give all the students a copy of the survey questions like this. And the directions are, number one, write one more question. Or if your survey has more than one, you give them time to write more than one. And then number two, they'll start by saying hi to one of your classmates. And they ask the first question to that classmate. And after he or she answers, you say a rejoinder. And then, number three, you ask a follow-up question. And after he or she answers, you say a rejoinder. And then write the answer on your paper. And then there's the option. You can ask more follow-up questions and continue the conversation, or you can both go to new partners and ask question number two. So after going through the directions, I then choose, me as the teacher, I'm going to do a model. So I choose one student to help me do the model in front of the whole class. Or the student can stay in their seat and I'll talk to them, but obviously we're making a model for how to do this. So let's say you are Amy, and I choose you and ask you the first question. So this is what I would say as the teacher during the model. And I'm talking to you, Amy, as one of the students. Hi, Amy. Did you send a text message today?
Yes, I did.
I see. So, did you notice that I said a rejoinder? I said, I see. Now, I'll ask a follow up question. Who did you text?
My friend Cindy.
Okay. So, again, notice that I used another rejoinder. I said, okay. Now, if I want to, we can continue the conversation. I could say, why did you text Cindy?
I asked her to take me to my dentist this afternoon.
Really? Do you have problems with your teeth? And like that, I can continue, or we can continue to have the conversation using rejoinders and follow up questions. And then I fill in the chart. So uh, after that, then me as again back me, I'm the teacher. I choose another student to ask the second question as a model for how I want them to do that.
Cool. I can see how important the modeling is to get the most out of the activity. All of this, the working with rejoinders and follow up questions in a previous lesson, the variety of types of questions and not just yes no ones, and the students writing some of their own questions, and the modeling are great improvements to the traditional way of doing surveys.
I agree. So that's how we can do surveys in a better way. I'll include links in the notes below to more videos that you can watch and also to my website where you can read about how you can do 5 other popular ESL activities in a better way. So, thank you for watching.